Okay, well, we're going to see if we're going live here, and we're picking up. Dunkerton is down 17-13 in the first set. The caveats are I don't really know volleyball very well, and this is at a little bit higher pace speed than I'm used to, but Mason Wolf gets it over. It's kind of a free ball situation. Here's Waterloo Christian setting it back up, back row, and the ball falls in, so it's now 13-18. Dunkerton's trailing here in just the first set. Serving for, we got Rachel Bergstrom serving. Dug out of there, Libero Van Langen. A little dink there by, is that Mason Wolf? No, that's a tissue. We'll get it. And there's so there the ball's in Waterloo Christian. They're setting it up, and that's going to be long. Allison White wasn't able to get the kill in, so it's 14-18 here. Serving for Dunkerton now is going to be Mallory Tissue, the sophomore. Mallory gets the ball over. Oh, and that's going to be an ace. Waterloo Christian wasn't able to return the serve, so now it's 15-18, and Mallory Tissue serving again. Sorry for the technical delays. I kind of gave up because I didn't think I was making any noise, and Mr. Kelchin said that at least one person was trying to listen. So now you're getting play-by-play audio from someone who barely knows volleyball. So we'll do the best we can here. Mallory Tissue get the balls over. I'll take any help I can get today. The ball's in the front court. There's a set that returned. Macy Tissue had the ball over. That's going to be a point for Waterloo Christian. I kind of got a little confused there. It's going to happen a lot tonight. It's 15-19. Waterloo Christian is serving. This is Reagan Wheeler who's serving right now. Reagan is one of the best blockers in the conference. She's one of the best solo blockers. I think Dunkerton has I believe it's Mallory as the number 2 solo blocker. Here's a nice spike that Mason Wolf sends home. Ball is not returned by Waterloo Christian, so it's 16-19. I did, as I've progressed as a volleyball announcer, I've been told I'm not supposed to say spike anymore. That's from the 1980s, and we're supposed to say kill. I'll do the best I can. Here's Mason Wolf serving into Waterloo Christian. It's set up for the kill. Up in the air. Dunkerton's going to get it back over the net on kind of a free ball situation here. They're setting up another spike. This time it's tipped. Van Langen gets it across, and now it's up for Dunkerton. It's a spike and it's tipped. The refs are looking at each other, and they did not see the tip. The ref is now saying she didn't say tip. So the ref's explaining something. I don't know where the point is going to go. Point is going to Dunkerton. So that's going to make it 17-19. Not knowing enough about the rules, I certainly am not going to be able to walk you through any kind of technical, but it looked like it was tipped, or that's what Waterloo Christian wanted, and they didn't get it, and then the ref called them over. So now Dunkerton has got it within 1 at 18-19, a very good match. And looks like Waterloo Christian is going to take a timeout and kind of regroup themselves. So needless to say that it's been a pretty fast-paced match. Both teams are 1-2 in the conference on the best blocking team in the conference. So we should see a lot of good defense. I think Mason Wolf had the right idea earlier. She did a nice little dink shot that got us a point. We have the top 3 players on Dunkerton for kills are all sophomores, so that's a good sign. We've got the number 2 setter in the Iowa Star Conference, and well, I'm going to focus back in. Oh, it looks like Here's Wolf with the serve, and it gets over on a little dink. Here's a set to Tissue. It's blocked out of bounds. So Macy Tissue sent it over. It was blocked by Waterloo Christian, but it went out of bounds. It's 19-19, folks. And Dunkerton is going to, they've been down in this game a couple times, about 4 or 5 points. Now they've clawed it back to 19-19. Wolf with another nice serve. Here's Waterloo setting it up. It's tipped and back to Tissue, and it is dug out of there. Here's a little dink by Waterloo Christian over. Here's another set, and this time it gets over to Waterloo Christian side. Now there's a dink there by Wheeler, and Tissue is just setting the ball over. There is a very nice deep row shot. Reagan Wheeler kind of spiked it from the back row to the back row. So that puts Waterloo Christian up 19-20. That was a pretty amazing shot. So serving now is Allison White for Waterloo Christian. Ball goes out of bounds on the serve. That's going to be 20-20. Mason Wolf ran over like she was going to return it, and then somebody pointed out, or maybe Mason realized that she was standing on the white line, so she decided not to do anything. Here with the service is going to be Macy Tissue, the senior. Nice little serve there, dug out by Wheeler, and it's set back to Wheeler, and Wheeler sends it home. So that's a kill for Wheeler. It's 21 for Waterloo Christian, 20 for Dunkerton, as we are still in the first set here. Serving now is going to be Lauren Bergstrom for Waterloo Christian, dug out of there by Van Langen. It goes over the net on the dig. Here's a tip, Van Langen again to Wheeler. Ooh, short. Didn't quite get over the net there. So Dunkerton is now down 20-22. Coach Schimpf is going to take a timeout, kind of have the girls collect themselves. This is going to be a big momentum victory either way. So kind of talking a little bit about this season. Dunkerton's had a real nice season. They're about 16-8, I believe. Last time I checked, it might even be on my score sheet. But this is a very tough first-round matchup. Waterloo Christian is no slouch themselves, about 500, but a team that Dunkerton has beaten twice this year, but a lot tougher team than you would think in your first-round matchup. Talking to Coach just a little bit earlier today, he talked a little bit about how Bailey Van Engen's been the libero, and she's done a great job as kind of setting up as a leader this year for the team. And they've got one setter on the team, and so Morgan Weepy's done a nice job with that. Here's Van Langen, and not able to return it. So now they're kind of, Dunkerton's behind the 8 ball with the score at 20-23. This will be, like I said, this will be a huge momentum shift if Waterloo Christian can hold on here after Dunkerton fought back. Mason Wolf gets it up for Bernanovas, and into the net, dug there. And this is going to be Mason Wolf getting a dink, kind of, I think we'll call that a dink. I don't know if she really was. Just the last name. Yeah, okay. I didn't want to mispronounce her name the whole time. So, here's a short serve for Dunkerton. And that's a tough one. That's going to make the score 21-23. So serving for the win right now is going to be Sidra Wheeler for Waterloo Christian. It's kind of getting a little tight. This is an easy serve over. Ball's upset and blocked for Waterloo Christian as Dunkerton went for the kill. So the first set will go to Waterloo Christian at 21-25. And we've got some people pretty excited about that. Obviously, you got to win 3 to advance, but Coach Schimpf is going to draw some stuff up here and get this turned around. This is a team that Dunkerton's beaten twice this year, although they're a pretty darn good team, and each time they've played, they've dropped at least one set to them. So, hoping to get past this and kind of get some momentum going. feel like it got a little close there at the end, and when you're playing from behind, it's a little easier to play, and then when you get it tied up, sometimes it gets a little tight. So that's a little bit of what happened tonight. But it's early yet. It's best of 3, so all we got to do now is win 3 of the next 4. So we get going here in 2 minutes. Got time to go get a snack or get ready. So just a quick summary on the season. We've got Dunkerton, Morgan Weepies, our senior, leading the team in assists. Mallory Tissue, the sophomore, leads the team in kills. Although we've got 3 girls, 3 of the sophomores are leading the team are high up there in the team for kills. Along with Mallory, we have the sophomore Emma Baranovas and Mason Wolf. And total blocks, leading the team is Macy Tissue again. Diggs is going to be Mason Wolf. And then aces is Emma Baranovas. So Dunkerton's on the floor, ready to get started, and just kind of waiting for Waterloo Christian to come back. So hopefully the girls will get started in a big time here and get ready to go. Kind of a tough one there at the end, but like I said, somebody's got to win 3 games, and why not have it be the Raiders? So we're doing a lot of talking. The referee's checking some things out. If we know how volleyball worked better, I think she's checking rosters, but honestly, she could be asking them what their favorite kind of pizza is. So serving now is going to be Morgan Weepy, the senior, for the Raiders. Girls don't seem overly nervous or tight right now as they're laughing on the court, so that's hopefully a good sign. And Weepy gets the serve over. It's going to be set and blocked and unable. It was blocked, but the ball did come over on the Dunkerton side, so that's a point for Waterloo Christian. I thought we were going to be able to block it or dig after the block. Service here for ball's over, dug by Mason, and Van Langen gets it back over. Waterloo Christian's going to do a mid-row get over. Here's oh wow! So a spike, a block, and then a return for Dunkerton. Now Dunkerton's getting ready to send it home again with Mallory Tissue, who sent a few of those over. There's a little dink, but a block for Baranobas. Ball still in play. Mason Wolf sending it to Weepy. Back to Tissue, block. Ball's up by Baranobas. Here's Weepy, back to Tissue, trying something different with a dink shot that time. Ball's up, blocked, but falls good for Waterloo Christian. So it's 3-0. Bad start here for the Raiders. That was a lot of action there that time. Coach for Waterloo Christian pretty fired up. Like I said, Mason Wolf with a dig to Weepy. And that gets over, I don't know how. Dug out of the net. Izzy Hesse really sent one home there for the Raiders, but somehow it got dug, and then it was back on the Raider side in the net. So Raiders are losing 4-0 here. And the ball's up in the air. Here's Weepy back to Hesse. Block, dig, and the ball's over. And that's going to be sending it long. There is Wheeler, excuse me, the very athletic freshman. So now it's going to be 1-3. I thought it was 1-4. Maybe I'm missing something. So here's an excellent serve by Baranobas, the best server on the team. That's going to be a point for Dunkerton. Ref puts 2 fingers in the air, which means a double. Okay. So I'm just going to call that a double. It's 2-3, Dunkerton. Call back. They had 4. I'm missing. Okay. I thought the score. Okay. So there was a spike in there as I'm getting taught how to call volleyball. But it's 3-3, and our best server, Baranovis, is at the line. She really it's got that serving thing. A spike by Wheeler. It's dug out by Van Langen. Back to Wheeler on our side, Wheeler. And into the net for Waterloo Christian. And Dunkerton has stormed back and scored 4 straight points, so it's 4-3 Raiders. And Baranovis is ready to serve her fourth serve in a row. That's almost going to be long, but Waterloo Christian plays it. Wheeler gets a kind of a mid-range back row dunk in, and that's going to be the end of Baranovis' serving for a little bit. It's 4-4, but a nice little run for Dunkerton to get it back to even here in the second match. Down 1 set on the night. Here's a dig by Wolf to Wheeler to Tissue. It's blocked, and it's blocked out of bounds. So lots of blocks tonight. I was told that these are the 2 best blocking teams in the conference, and I believe it. Dunkerton now has a 5-4 lead. And Van Langen is our libero, and she's serving. Nice little serve there, barely dug out, and we're going to get a point because there's a double. So it's 6-4 as Bailey Van Langen goes back to the service. She gets the ball over. It's in between the first and second row. They're set up to Wheeler for Christian, and Reagan sends home the kill. Looks like we had it blocked, but blocked on our side. So Dunkerton's still leading 6-5. Serve for Waterloo Christian, unable to return. We had 2 girls going for it at the same time, and we weren't able to get the ball returned. So it's 6-6 here in the second set. And Waterloo Christian sends the ball over. Mason Wolf digs it, and it's dug a little too far, and it's blocked. Or Waterloo Christian with the kill. So now it's 7-6 with Waterloo Christian leading. Waterloo Christian with the service. Tissue is able to get it up in the aisle to Van Langen and back over. Here's a dig. Nice little work by Dunkerton to get the ball over in kind of a free ball situation. Now they're setting up their Weepy, and she's not able to, it just went a little too far for her. She tried to switch to her left hand, which has been terribly athletic, but the ball fell in there. They weren't able to execute the set. Good news for the Raiders, it's 7-7. And here's Mallory's doing the serve. Ball is back over to the Dunkerton side. Now it's Mason Wolf. And Mason, who's had a few shots blocked tonight, is now she did a little dink there, and not only did we get a point for Dunkerton, but we grabbed the lead back. So nice little shot there for Mason. And here Mallory's setting different kind of serve. They're getting it up to their big spiker, but Dunkerton gets it over. Again, not in a kill situation, but so far so good. Ball is on Waterloo Christian side, and they have to get it over in a free ball situation. Here is Tissue sending it home, and Mallory got the kill. Waterloo Christian blocked it into their own net. So I think this is the first 2-point lead Dunkerton's had tonight at 9-7. Let's just keep it going, ladies. Ball's over, set to Reagan, and unable to return for Dunkerton, so it'll be Waterloo Christian point at 9-8 lead. Mallory Tissue's coming out of the game. We're going to get Hannah Fetkether into the back row for the Raiders. Do some digging. Here is Reagan Wheeler with the serve for Waterloo Christian. Ball was over, dug out of there. Here's Weepy and sending it home. But Waterloo Christian's going to get it back over in a non-attacking situation. There's a little bit of a dink. Dunkerton really has Waterloo Christian diving all over. Waterloo Christian's doing a great job. Here's Dunkerton not able to, after all that, Macy Tissue had a couple real nice shots. Waterloo Christian returned them. At the very end, we had a couple of dinks that Waterloo Christian dug, but Waterloo Christian gets a point. It's 9-9 at this point in time. Reagan Wheeler, ooh, that might have gone long, girls, but we played it. Now we're just going to get it over the net. Mason Wolf does a nice job there. And back over. Here's a little dink, and it goes out of bounds. I think that's going to be a tip situation. And that's what it's called by the ref. So it's 10-9 with a 1-point lead for Waterloo Christian. And Reagan Wheeler is at the serve again. So ball goes over. There's Van Langen with a return. Setting up for Wolf. It's blocked in the front row by Sidra Wheeler and Laura Bernstrom. And Waterloo Christian scored 4 points in a row, so now it's 9-11. And Reagan Wheeler still serving for Waterloo Christian. Ball is over, dug out of there by Van Langen. Set up for Wolf. It's deflected. This is going to be Waterloo Christian kind of getting it over in just a non-attacking situation. Here is a little dink that Macy Tissue just couldn't quite get over. She was trying to do a little dink and wasn't able to get it over. Reagan Wheeler with the serve. Back row. Now this is going to have to just be get it over time for Dunkerton. So we haven't been able to attack quite as much. Here's going to be a little bit long return. So that's good for Dunkerton as that goes out of bounds for Waterloo Christian. The score is 10-11. And Mason Wolf is now serving. Ball is set. Nice block there by Dunkerton. And Waterloo Christian gets it over. Here's Wheeler again to Baranovas, and it's blocked, and Dunkerton's not able to return it. So it's 10-13. Waterloo Christian really has things kind of going well. Dunkerton was leading this 9-7, and so they've been outscored 6-1. Here's Wheeler to Tissue. That looked pretty easy that time. I think it was Tissue. I think that was Macy Tissue, if I can't remember correctly. So now it's 11-13, and Macy's going to be doing the serving here. Nice to go on a little bit of a run here. Ball's dug, setting up a spike and the kill there for Sidra Wheeler. So it's 11-14 with Waterloo Christian leading here in the second set. Here's a serve over. Mason Wolf digs it. It's kind of long. Wheeler's just going to get it to Van Langen, who's going to drop it in a situation where Dunkerton was just trying to get the ball over the net. Awesome Bailey Van Langen just kind of dropped that in right before the line, so point to Dunkerton. Here's going to be Morgan Wheeler with the serve. And Waterloo Christian kind of goes with a runner, tries to drop it in, but it goes a little too far, so point for Dunkerton. It's 13-14 now. Raiders only down by 1. Morgan Wheeler gets over a nice little serve. Back row, kind of a half kill. Now it's Baranovas dropping one in there. It is dug out and returned. Waterloo Christian tries to dink it back over. Ball doesn't go over that. 4 hits, so now we're tied at 14-14. So in a game of streaks, I think it was at one point in time 9-7, Dunkerton was leading. Then it was 13-7. Oh, here's a great opportunity for Dunkerton. Wheeler behind her to Tissue. Waterloo Christian's able to return it. Back row kind of drop shot. Here's Tissue again. She's got him playing in the back row. I like that a lot. These are just kind of some non-attacking returns for Waterloo Christian. And Tissue again. So third time's the charm. Her kill goes down. Mallory with really nice work there. And Dunkerton has a 15-14 lead here in the second set. Mallory was getting the ball over, and Waterloo Christian was returning it, but just couldn't return the last one. Here is, they're going to call something. We're going to call 2 hits on Waterloo Christian. So all of a sudden, it's 16-14, and the momentum, which has shifted a lot in these games, is back on the side of the Dunkerton Raiders, where it's 16-14. Waterloo Christian won the first set tonight. Kind of exciting fashion. Dunkerton had tied it, but we're back up to, I don't know, I think they won the first one about 25-21. And here in the second set, it is Dunkerton leading 16-14 after kind of coming back from being down by, well, there was a run in there where Dunkerton had a 2-point lead, and all of a sudden they were down by 2 or 4. I think it was a 6-1 run, if I remember correctly. And Dunkerton has kind of scrapped their way back, and they're now got a 16-14 lead. It'd be nice if they just kind of rode this momentum and just kept going. So we've got Morgan Weepy, our senior, who's going to be serving for us. Morgan gets the ball over. It's dug out of there by Waterloo Christian. The ball is sent over the net. I don't know what we're calling. I don't think they're not calling that the ball was spiked into the net, and the Waterloo Christian wanted it blocked, and the refs kind of looked at each other and said, we don't think it touched anybody. So they aren't very happy with the refs, and according to the refs, now we've got one of our lines judge going over and talking to the ref, and they're going to let him know. I imagine they're not going over to say, hey, I saw him not touch it. So if I had to bet, I would say that this is going to be, I think I saw the ball touched by Dunkerton, and then it went out of bounds, so it's going to be point for Waterloo Christian. But whatever we said ends up with point staying with Dunkerton. To be honest with you, it happened right in front of me, but this is a little bit faster action than I get my normal day lives. I couldn't tell you if it hit Dunkerton or not. Here is Waterloo Christian setting it up, dug out of there by Dunkerton, and now we're going to get a point double hit, point on for Waterloo Christian. So, and we got a makeup call chant going here. So, anyway. Sidra Wheeler serving for Waterloo Christian. Set to Wheeler. Dunked in there by, I'm not even sure who did that. We'll go with it. Could have been Izzy Hesse. I'm not sure. Maybe Mason Ruff. But point for Dunkerton. Dunkerton leads 18-15. And there's Emma Baranobas, our most effective server. And she gets it back to Tissue. It's blocked, and apparently blocked into their own net. So that's going to be point for Dunkerton. I think Mallory realized she had done that. I missed the part where when it was blocked, it was on the Waterloo Christian side. So anyway, 19-15. Things are really going the right direction for Dunkerton. And we're in the second set here. Waterloo Christian won the first one, but Dunkerton's planning on winning the second one and probably just going on a run now that so that we can just maybe win the next 3 and call it good. So we've got we had a busy night of activities here at school. We had junior high football against Tripola. The boys got 35-point clock going, and they won 40-0. I came inside. Then they played junior high football against Central City. I came inside and missed the second half, but it was 8-0 at halftime. Central City was leading that game. A little cold outside tonight. We didn't have any snow on the ground, but a little cold. Here's Baranobas with the serve. They're going to let that go, and that's going to fall in there. So awesome. We like to see that. And maybe that's one of the reasons she's got a deceptive serve that just kind of, maybe that's the one that dies. There's Emma Baranobas. Then she's going to get a serve over there. She's like playing mind games right now. First she goes what they think is going to be long, and they let it go in the back, and this time Emma serves it, and it just dies between the first and second row. So it's 21-15. These are great. Oh, that's an awesome serve as well. This is going to be Reagan Wheeler trying to get Spike, but she's back row, blocked nicely. We're going to give that to Mallory Tissue with an assist from Izzy Hesse. So we're up 22-15 now, and things are going the Raiders' way. This is ball over the net, Reagan. Now this is going to be a back row third shot, and it's going to barely make it over. It's dug out of there. Dunkerton, Emma Baranobas kind of comes to the rescue at the last minute. Here's a kill, but it's dug. Weepy to Tissue, no, to Wolf. And we've got some pretty good action going on right now. Here's a little dink. Wheeler, who's always setting the ball. And Mallory Tissue with the kill. I don't know if I'll ever be good enough to describe all this action, but just that was very good volleyball. It's 23-15. Dunkerton is leading with Emma Baranobas serving. There's Reagan Wheeler for Waterloo Christian. Looks like she went left-handed and kind of ended up with a spike there. So it's 23-16, but Dunkerton has their biggest lead of the game. They had a 23-15 lead, so that would have been an 8-point lead. That would have been easily their biggest margin. Here's Wheeler setting to Wolf, tipped at the net. Waterloo Christian getting it over. Doug back to Wolf. Wolf dinks it over. Christian is setting it up. Oh, Wheeler somehow grabs it. Boy, Mallory Tissue sends it home, but it's dug out of there by Waterloo Christian. Really good volleyball girls. Now we're just trying to aim the ball, and what I'm curious to see what we call it. We're going to call that 2 hits. So it's 24-16. Dunkerton's on the precipice of taking this, and the girls are pretty fired up now. Izzy Hesse coming out of the game. Somebody came in for her. I'm not sure who. But you know, if here's Van Langen getting the serve barely over. Dug out of their return. Here's Weepy again. Oh, and the older Tissue girl just Macy dinked it over, but Waterloo Christian gets it back, and Dunkerton's not able to return. It's 24-17. You got the Dunkerton crowd standing. They want one more point to end this set. All right, Weepy to Tissue, kill. That's the end of the game. Well, end of the set. So we're tied at 1. Real nice, just kind of set up the senior Macy Tissue, and she sent it home. So it's 25-17 winner for Dunkerton, and they've pulled even. I think we talked about earlier, not that I wanted to watch the second half of Monday Night Football or preferably drive home with it on the radio, but if that's how things play out tonight, that's fine as well. And so Dunkerton kind of, momentum was going back and forth there for a while. A couple of calls that Waterloo Christian questioned that went the Dunkerton way. Dunkerton was able to open up the first lead of the game, like they got 2-point lead, and all of a sudden looked down and it was a 4-point, 5-point, 8-point lead. So, so far, really good volleyball, like we talked about before. This is a real tough first-round matchup for Dunkerton. Waterloo Christian feels like a second or third round matchup, to be honest with you, for a team that went, I think Dunkerton went about 16-8 this year. So anyway, but hopefully Dunkerton can stick with it, because they're kind of headed in the right direction now. And We kind of look, I think, some of the stuff that Coach was talking about on paper about how it's going to be a very tough defensive game. Both teams lead the conference in blocks. I certainly have seen that. Ladies have been kind of adjusting their not going for the kill every time and doing some dinks. So that's worked out well. Girls look pretty loose, pretty happy. Lots of smiles. They're laughing. They're on the court ready to go. And maybe they're just generally happy people. That's entirely possible, but it's always always fun when you can see your team relaxed and ready to go. So Izzy Hesse's going to get a few last-minute tips from Coach. Eli Schimpf, who was here at 4:30 today for a 7 o'clock game. He was getting the nets up and measuring them and working through some of his pre-game nerves. So hopefully he's calmed down. Appreciate his efforts with the team this year. They are playing at a very high level. So serving is going to be Cedra Wheeler for Waterloo Christian. And we'll start the third set here. Tied at 1-1. Waterloo Christian won the first one. Dunkerton came back, kind of exploded there in the second match. Here's a ball coming over, not really in an attacking situation. Waterloo Christian gets it up. Wheeler, who hits the ball all the time, sets up very nicely to, I think that's Baranobas. She gets the kill down. And Dunkerton has a 1-0 lead. I think that's the first time tonight they've led. In fact, I know that's the first time tonight they've led. So now serve coming over. It's Baranobas. It is returned. Wheeler hits it, and I thought it was going to be long, but it just kind of died. And so now it's tied 1-1 in the third set. The libero, Aronson, is serving for Waterloo Christian. Ball's kind of dug out of there. Mason Wolf to Wheeler, back to Wolf. Here's a block at the Dunkerton tries to block it, but blocks it on our side. So that's, I guess, not a block. And it is 1-2 with Waterloo Christian leading right now. So another serve for Aronson. She gets the ball over. Wolf to Wheeler, behind her. Oh boy, real good. It was a kill shot for the younger Tissue girl, but now I'm behind on the action. Waterloo Christian into the net. It's going to be 2-2. So I'm sure you followed all of that description of the action, but we have, I think that's Hesse coming out, and Macy Tissue coming in. Van Langen with the serve. It's dug out of there. They're setting up Reagan Wheeler. Kind of a dink. Here's Tissue. I think kind of her favorite spot for Mallory Tissue is on the side, and she just kind of sets it through the middle back. Looking real good. Ladies are leading 3-2. Dunkerton over Waterloo Christian. Here they're setting up Wheeler, block for Mallory. I think Wolf has got her hands up too. And the two Tissue girls, I'm going to give that mostly to Mallory, but I'm sure it's a team block, or excuse me, Macy. It doesn't matter because it's 4-2 Dunkerton. Here's Van Langen with another serve. Kind of falls in there, setting up a spike on the end. That's going to be deep. And all of a sudden, Dunkerton has a 5-2 lead. So things have really turned around here since midway through the second set when Dunkerton lost a 2-point lead and was down 4. But now they're up 5-2. Ball does not get over on the service. It's a little tough one there. But it's 5-3 still for Dunkerton as we head to serve by Waterloo Christian. Weepy, Tissue, dug out of there somehow by Waterloo Christian there in the back row on their third hit. They are going to get it over. Van Langen to Wheeler. And there's going to kill for Mallory Tissue. You know, Coach told me before that he had one setter offense, and I was going to see Morgan Weepy doing a lot of setting, and I have seen Morgan Weepy doing a lot of setting. Coach told me the truth. Here's going to be an ace off the serve for Mallory Tissue. She seems pretty delighted by that. That's fun. Waterloo Christian's going to take a timeout with Dunkerton leading 7-3. We're going to go enthusiasm award there for Peyton Rigel, who jumped off the bench. Congratulate her teammates. So Dunkerton's much more relaxed and calmed down a little bit. The first game was kind of, I think they were kind of dazed. That was a tough one to lose because it was close. Maybe the first one was closer to about a 2-point win. Second one, Dunkerton was down kind of they were up. They were leading 9-7, and all of a sudden they were down 13-9. So they got outscored, or 13-8. So they got outscored 6-1, and then they just kind of went on a run and put it away. And since that time, where they won 25-17 after being down 13-9. After that, they really looked good and have come out here in the third set. They're leading 7-3, and got the serve over. That time, Reagan Wheeler does get the kill in. Real good set there, so that makes the score 7-4. Reagan Wheeler is going to be in the back row. She's going to be serving for Waterloo Christian. She did a nice job serving in the first set. Here the ball is too deep, and it's Dunkerton's not able to return the serve, so it's going to be 7-5. So 7-5 in the second set with Dunkerton leading. Reagan Wheeler with the serve. Dug out of there. Here's Wheeler setting Tissue, and there's the kill. That looks so... It's like they've done that before when she gets that set, and the ball's not in the air a long time, and Macy Tissue sends that home pretty quickly. Here's Mason Wolf with a serve that he's not able to get it over the net, so that's going to be a point for Waterloo Christian. She's kind of upset there. So that makes it 8-6. Dunkerton still has the lead here in the third set, and serving for is Allison White for Waterloo Christian. Ball to Weepy, Tissue. That's the sweet spot. Tissue, it's Mallory Tissue on the edge, but her sister Macy Tissue, the senior, right down the center, and she's getting great sets there from Wheeler, and she's just sending it home. So serving now is Mallory. Ball's over. Dink there by Waterloo Christian. We're going to set it to Baranobas. She gets it to the back row. Waterloo Christian is back approaching the net. It's blocked, but not stopped. And point for Waterloo Christian, so it's 9-7. Van Langen back into the game for Mallory Tissue. Macy Tissue. She's going to be in the back row. Here serving is going to be Bergstrom for Waterloo Christian, the left-hander. Mason Wolf. And we'll pick it up where we left off when Mallory was in the game, with Wheeler to Hesse, but they return the dink, and this is going to be 8-9. Dunkerton still leading, but Waterloo Christian with the serve. Van Langen to Weepy. She sends it to Baranobas, and Baranobas from the edge drives it to the back row for the kill. So that looked good. Way to kind of adjust there. We've got coming back into the game is Mallory Tissue for the front row. And I think coming out of the game was Izzy Hesse. This is going to be Weepy with the serve. She sends it to the back row. Waterloo Christian looking to set. Return right up to the net. It's going to have to be dug out of there. And Dunkerton gets it across. And now a little dink by Waterloo Christian. Weepy back to Tissue at her favorite spot for Mallory on the edge. She sends it to the back row for the kill. I was at volleyball the other night, and I noticed at Starmont they keep track of kills and digs, so that would help somebody like myself, and I could be able to update you on the stats. Here's the ball over for Waterloo Christian. They send a kill, but it's up in the air return. Van Langen's just going to have to kind of free ball the situation over. Here's front row, and Van Langen to Weepy. Oh, a little dink there by Baranobis, but dug out nicely by Waterloo Christian. Over to Dunkerton, and we're going to get a point for 2 hitting on Dunkerton. Didn't quite see that, but that's going to make it to 11-9. Dunkerton still leading here in the 3rd set. And service is Sid Wheeler for Waterloo Christian. Baranobis up. Here's Mason Wolf with kind of a mid-range spike, which does get over, but it's a return. Wheeler again to Mallory Tissue on the other side, and Mallory sends it home. Mallory's going to work the front side instead of the back side. 12-9. This is going to be Emma Baranobis, our on paper, Dunkerton's best server, and she really looked good in the last game, kind of turned things around. I think she got about 4 or 5 points in a row. Here's up in the air to Reagan. Over to Dunkerton on the side. That's Mason Wolf. I'm not even sure how that used the law of physics, because Mason looked like she was about 4 or 5 feet from the net, and she sent it home kind of at an angle to the other side. But it got in, so it's 13-9 for Dunkerton with Baranobis on the serve. Baranobis gets it over. Here's a situation where a little dink for Waterloo Christian, blocked by Dunkerton. Baranobis to Wheeler, to Hesse, I think that is. And she gets yeah, that is Izzy. She gets a little dink in there that Waterloo Christian is not able to adjust to. 14-9, Dunkerton. Here in the 2nd set, or 3rd set, excuse me, it's tied 1-1. Baranobis, strong serve over. A little trickeration as Waterloo Christian gets it back. Dunkerton handles it. Weepy behind her to Mallory Tissue. I think I've called that at least half a dozen to a dozen times tonight for the kill. 15-9. Gets Waterloo Christian's calling a timeout now as they kind of readjust. But Mallory's doing a great job. Awesome sets there from Wheeler. So Morgan, or excuse me, Weepy. Morgan has just been setting the ball all night, as coach promised. He said he had one setter and she has to work a lot. So we've had Izzy Hesse come on and provide a spark. Mason Wolf has done a nice job. Emma Baranobis is serving. I think she's probably served, I don't want to exaggerate here, but maybe about 4. She got 4 or 5 points in the 2nd set, and I think she's on about her 3rd point here in the 3rd set. So want to keep this train rolling. Little dink over. It's like I'm sure there's a better term for it, but she hit it over and it was like a change up, and Waterloo Christian wasn't able to adjust it, but it was coming over soft and it just died. So it's 16-9. Baranobis now hits the fastball over, and Waterloo Christian's able to send a spike there, a kill with Reagan Wheeler in the front row. 16-10, Dunkerton's leading, and serve right now is for Waterloo Christian. This is going to be Sydney Aronson. And ball's over. Van Langen, that's kind of a tough spot. Bad spot for us to be. Not able to dig that ball out of there. It's 16-11. Dunkerton still leads. Momentum maybe lost a little bit. Ball's over, dug by Wolf. Weepy behind her to Tissue. Favorite spot, blocked by Reagan. Waterloo Christian gets it over. Here's Van Langen behind her. There's a dink shot by Tissue, trying something different. Waterloo Christian getting it up. Dug out of there to Weepy, to Wolf with a dink. Oh. So in a game where we've had just hundreds of blocks, it seems like Mason Wolf gets it over with a dig, and in the middle of that is Morgan Weepy with just a whole bunch of sets. So Van Langen with the serve now. Dunkerton's up 17-11. Here's a front row dink. Dunkerton digs it. Yeah, I don't think that's how you play volleyball. The ball was kind of out of bounds, and it was more on the Waterloo Christian side. A nice little dink there by Waterloo Christian, kind of caught us off guard. It's 17-12. Dunkerton is leading. Here's a serve into the net. That's very helpful for Dunkerton. Now it's 18-12, as Dunkerton has tied at 1-1 in the set department. Now we've got Mallory Tissue. Very nice serve over. Here's Waterloo Christian kind of setting it up, gets the ball back over. He's going to have to be Megan Mason Wolf getting it over, which she does. Setting to maybe the back row, and Waterloo Christian isn't able to convert that ball over the net. So Dunkerton now has a 19-12 lead here in the third set. We're tied at 1-1. We've got Mallory Tissue. Oh, she drops it in there. I wasn't even sure that was going to make it over the net. So Weepy to Wolf, back row, and it's out. I wasn't sure on that one. Mason sometimes is able to defy how physics is supposed to work and bends the ball back in. She wasn't able to do it that time. Reagan Wheeler is serving for Waterloo Christian. I feel like she serves a lot. Over, Doug, Macy Tissue, almost with the kill, but it's scooped out of there. Here's Wheeler, back to Wolf, and it's a little long there on the kill. So we had Dunkerton flying at the net, lots of different options. So it's 19-14. Wheeler gets the ball over, dug out of there, just a kind of a return, not attacking. Here's tipped at the net. There's a point for Waterloo Christian. It's 19-15. So momentum shifted just a little bit here as Waterloo Christian scored a couple points. We're going to call a timeout for Dunkerton as we kind of try to get the momentum shifted. Maybe the team's playing just a little nervous right now. We're going to get a new ball into play. All sorts of stuff going on. Dunkerton dropped the first set in a real close fashion. In the second set, it looked like they were going to drop, and then they put together a big run, and they used that run to kind of take them into the third game. So they won the second set and jumped up big time in the third set, and have kind of tried to pull away, but haven't quite escaped just yet. So it's 19-15, Dunkerton leading in the third set tonight. We had a victory in junior high football tonight, as well as we were only down by 8 at halftime at JV football. It was real, I'm not sure everybody was quite ready for 40 degrees and snow flurries, but that's what we had. So 19-15, Dunkerton leading in the third set. Waterloo Christian's Reagan Wheeler is serving here. She's gotten a couple points in a row. Ball's over. Van Langen to Weepy, and Mason Wolf sends it home, blocked out of bounds. Point for Dunkerton, and Jordan Smith is going to come out and be replaced in the front row. I don't know, maybe that was Macy Tissue coming in. So here's Mason Wolf, pretty effective serve. At the net, there's Waterloo Christian, tipped. Back to Tissue, she gets it over. Now Wheeler into the net, and it's going to be confusion there with the referees, but it's going to be point for Waterloo Christian. At first they signaled for Dunkerton. It's 20-16, Dunkerton leads. Waterloo Christian is serving. This is Allison White for Waterloo Christian. Ball's over, Wheeler setting to Baranovas, back row kill. That was needed. That
not just, it seems like it's more than 1 point, but gets the lead back to 5 at 21-16. So Dunkerton's kind of in the driver's seat with Macy Tissue serving. All right, ball's over to, here's a dink for Waterloo Christian. Ball is tipped, but we're not able to return it on the Dunkerton side, so it's 21-7. Here now serving is Lauren Bergstrom, the left-hander for Waterloo Christian. Van Langen, front row to Baranobas. It's blocked, but blocked out of bounds. Blocked backwards, and it goes out of bounds. That's going to be a point for Dunkerton. Baranobas brought the thunder that time, and Waterloo Christian blocked it, but blocked it way back behind the back line. So it's 22-17. Here's Waterloo Christian setting the ball up into the offensive zone. Oh, stuck there by Wheeler, and ball goes out of bounds. That was close to, might have been too deep, but we touched it. So it's 22-18. Serving is the older Wheeler girl. Ball's over the net. Weepy and set to Mallory Tissue. Ball is blocked, and I'm telling you, every time these guys get blocked, when Mallory Tissue hits it, I think the ball is blocked on our side, but in fact it's blocked on their side. So it's 23-15. Nice serve by Baranobas, our best server. Ball is driven down there, and kill for Reagan Wheeler. So that's going to make it 23-19. Dunkerton still leads here in the third set. Serving is Sydney Aronson for Waterloo Christian. She gets it over. Van Langen to Weepy to Tissue, a dink. The ball is dug out of there, but then hit too hard, back over the net. And it's 24-19. The fans, the Dunkerton Raider fans, are on their feet looking for the point of the set. Serve is going to be an ace. I missed who that service was. I think it was Van Langen. And Dunkerton's going to take the second game, or third set, 25-19. So that pretty good little comeback, 2 in a row now for Dunkerton. I think what we talked about was, the idea was after we dropped the first one, that we would win the next 3, and that my drive home, I would get to listen to the second half of the NFL football. So that plan is still in play. I'm a big fan of that plan. It's 8 o'clock. It's been great volleyball. Both teams, I mean, kind of talked about earlier how this is a real tough matchup for both teams. Both teams, Waterloo Christian is a very tough round match. In fact, the winner here will play Edco and East Buck, and I'm not sure it'll be if there'll be a harder game tonight or next Monday. So we head into the fourth set. Dunkerton leads 2-1. And love to be able to break down and say what the shift was. I think scoring more points than Waterloo Christian certainly helped. Girls seemed a little nervous in the first game, but second game, once they got rolling with their points, they kind of seemed to relax. They're attacking from multiple players on the front row. They're doing a good job with their dinks. They're not. There's lots of defensive blocking, and Dunkerton is able to handle that. Here we go with the fourth set. Girls seem always on the floor early. Coach Shimp likes to get them out there before 30 seconds, and it seems pretty relaxed. Referee checks the lineup. You don't get that in many sports these days, or any other sports. So Libero is going to check in for Mallory Tissue. and or Macy Tissue, excuse me. So Van Langen comes in, and we're good to go. Looks like, and if you missed it earlier today, Dunkerton Raider varsity football team does have one more game makeup from COVID. Both teams got knocked out of the playoffs. So Thursday night at 6 p.m. Thursday night at 6 p.m. Dunkerton's going to host Midland in football, so that'll be fun. Winners of volleyball are scheduled to play here Wednesday night at 7 p.m. And I also know that there is district cross country at Clayton Ridge on Thursday night at about 4 p.m. for girls and 5 p.m. for boys. All right, so the serve is over, and Baronovas gets blocked into the net on the dig. So that's going to be a point for Waterloo Christian. So Waterloo Christian's up 1-0 in the fourth set. Dunkerton hasn't led to start a set except for the third set tonight. This is Sidra Wheeler with the serve. Weepy to Mallory Tissue, a little dink that time. Blocked into the net. Scooped out of there for Waterloo Christian. Back to Mallory Tissue. Blocked. Dug. Dug again. Dug over the net. Van Langen. Tissue blocked. And we had a couple of Raiders trying to hit the ball at the same time. So that one falls down, and that's going to be another point for Waterloo Christian. Waterloo Christian leads 2-0. Wheeler serving return. Macy, very Hussey. We're just playing at the net. We're doing little dinks, and we're blocking, and it's amazing what these ladies are doing. We're going to get a point here. Dunkerton's going to be in the net that time. And I didn't quite see that. So 3-0. Dunkerton trails here in the third set. Wolf to Weepy. To Hussey, but it's blocked. So it's going to be 4-0. So not the best start here for Dunkerton. Weepy to Tissue. It is blocked, and it's dug. And now Waterloo Christian just getting the ball over. Weepy back to Baronovas, who dinks it, and it's dug. I don't know how this is getting over. Blocked and dug. And Tissue blocked and dug. Girls are playing some really nice volleyball right now. And it's over to Van Langen, back to Weepy. Hit long, but I think that's in. I'm calling that in. I thought that was in. So I don't know what this call is. It's the thumbs up call. What do we got there?
They replayed it.
They're replaying it. That's a thing?
I guess so. I've never seen that before.
Didn't you think it was in? Okay, well, needless to say, I guess we're going to replay that. I guess do-overs do exist. And now it's going to be a point for Dunkerton on a double hit. So it's going to be 1-4. And I don't even know how to describe stuff I don't understand. But so it sounds like you can do a do-over. Here's Baronovas serving for Dunkerton. This is what we need, is a couple easy points here from Baronovas. Ball's over Weepy, setting it to Wolf. A little dink, but it is dug by Waterloo Christian. And back over. Wheeler sets to Mallory Tissue. Back row dug. Back to Waterloo Christian and deep. And so it's another point for Waterloo Christian. It's 5-1 now. So hasn't been the best start for Dunkerton. Up 2-1 in the set department, but down 5-1 in the score of the four set. Here's Weepy to Tissue. Dug out of there by Waterloo Christian. Back, and that's going to be long on the return. So there's a point for Dunkerton, and we got it 2-5. Van Langen is going to be serving for the Raiders. Kind of hope to turn things around here. Van Langen, good serve. They're setting on the side. There's a dink attempt. It's blocked, and we're going to get a point for Dunkerton on the 2 hits. So it's 3-5. As bad as it started for Dunkerton, they're kind of getting the momentum. Here's a serve that I think is going to get through. Oh, maybe it is returned. And Tissue gets set. She sends the kill home, but it's returned. We got some digging situation. Boy, Weepy sticks with the ball in the net. And this is just kind of crazy. There is a fabulous like tip kill where Macy Tissue just kind of reached over the net and sent it down. So it's 4-5. Serve. I didn't know that was going to make it. Van Langen gets it over. There is a spike for Reagan Wheeler, and it is 4-6. Dunkerton still trails, but they kind of have got their caught their breath, absorbed the first aftershock, and they're kind of got their footing now. So Weepy sets back to Tissue. It was a little long, so she wasn't able to do the set, so she just kind of over her head did it. I'm sure there's a better name for that than that. So now it's Waterloo Christian and Wheeler with the spike. It was dug out of there. We didn't realize, I think Waterloo Christian was celebrating. We didn't realize it was dug out of there. And Dunkerton was able to dig it and get it over the net. And Waterloo Christian recovered and got the point. So it's 4-7. And Waterloo Christian serves. Back row, dug out of there. Tissue. That's a good way to do it. Set it to Macy Tissue and have her drive it down the center. The sets for Macy just seem to be little mini sets. The ball isn't in the air very long, and this makes it real hard to return. Now her sister Mallory with the serve. Dunkerton trailing 5-7. Ball's over. Here's Weepy to Wolf. It's blocked, but it's blocked out of bounds. That should be Dunkerton point, and it is. Look at me picking up all my skills and my volleyball play-by-play announcing. 6-7, Dunkerton trails. This would be a good opportunity for Dunkerton to go on a run with Mallory Tissue serving. The ball's over the net. There's a little dink or carry. Here's a nice little place set that gets over. That's going to be long, and Waterloo Christian's not able to return. So now it's 7-7. Dunkerton is leading 2-1, and we've tied it here in the fourth at 7-7 with Mallory Tissue serving. She's gotten a couple points so far, and Waterloo Christian just isn't able to get back to their offense. Here's Mason Wolf. She gets it down. It is blocked. Here's Waterloo Christian with the Reagan Wheeler with the dink. And that's a point for Waterloo Christian. So it is 7-8. Here's Macy Tissue. That ball is going to get over. So it's blocked. Then it's dug. Then it's blocked. Then it's dug. We're doing lots of digging right now. Incredible, the girls' reaction right now. Wheeler kind of gets it over on a little trick shot. There's a nice found the open spot there for Waterloo Christian, and it is 7-9. Reagan Wheeler with the serve. There's Mason Wolf just getting the ball over. Dunkerton really wasn't set up that time. Here's a little dink, but Waterloo Christian wasn't able to get it in bounds. So here's a point for Dunkerton. It's 8-9, and Baranobas comes into the front row. And we like to have Emma there. So our serve is going to be Mason Wolf. Mason is not able to get the ball over the net on the serve, so that's going to be a point for Waterloo Christian. It is 8-10 now. Waterloo Christian serving with a 2-point lead. Ball Mason Wolf. to Wheeler, to Tissue. Boy, Mallory Tissue, Macy Tissue has really got a lot of kills tonight right down the center. That just kind of seems to be her sweet spot tonight. Maybe it is every night. And so now Macy's serving, and Duckerton's down 1, 9-10. And that serve is going to be an ace, not returnable for Waterloo Christian. So Macy Tissue seems pretty happy with herself and scored a couple points for the team here. It's got it tied up at 10-10. She sends a serve back. Serve is going to be set up for a spike, and that kill is going to get in, not able to be returned by Dunkerton. Falls in there. Hannah Fetkether was kind of caught up a little bit, and she tried to adjust at the end and wasn't able to do that. So Dunkerton trails 10-11 with Waterloo Christian serving. Here's Wheeler setting it up for Baranova. Baranova sends a kill home, but we're going to say that number 9 was in the net, it appears. So all of a sudden it's 11-11. It's tied, and I think that is Morgan Wheatley with the serve. Serves long. Waterloo Christian kind of floated back like they were going to try to figure out how to hit it. And they had 2 players, and I don't know if they talked or they both decided to let it go, and it did work out. So here's Wheeler, the older Wheeler girl is serving. She almost drops it in there, but Dunkerton gets it. Mallory gets the ball over. There's a kill, and the ball is in for Waterloo Christian. That's going to make it 13-11. This one's starting to slip away from the Raiders. They had it tied just a few minutes ago. They're still up 2-1, but we'd really like to come back and win this one. And here's Mallory Tissue. She sends it home. It's not going to be able to dug for Waterloo Christian. That's going to be a point for Dunkerton Raiders. It's 12-13. And it looks like Baranobas, again, I kind of talked a little bit to us. She leads our team in serving aces. Emma Baranobas is going to be serving now. And the ball goes into the net, but it's over. And that kind of sets off a little bit of the timing for Waterloo Christian. Ace and point for the Raiders. It's back to 13-13. And Emma's ready to serve again. And ball's over. Oh, that's going to be deep. So sometimes Emma's able to just drop those in. She seems a little annoyed with herself. So it's 13-14. Dunkerton trails by 1. And Aronson is serving. Dug there by Wheatley. Set for Tissue. Ball's tipped at the net on the kill. Mallory Tissue got it. Point for Dunkerton. That's the kind of thing. We've had a few of those tonight, and it's very hard to see. That did look like it altered its momentum. So it's 14-14, and here's Van Langen dropping a kill, but it's blocked for Dunkerton, and the dig, and they're not able to execute the second kill. We got Mallory, Macy, and Mason on the front row. Kind of our high flyers. We're up 14-15. Here's a little dink over. We're going to set it now to Mallory, and that's where she wanted it. Mallory, sent that one home from the side like she's done all night. Great set there. They had Mallory on the edge and Macy in the middle. So Dunkerton's momentum shifted back to Dunkerton. Now this is going to be a point for Dunkerton. We're going to call that 2 hits, and Dunkerton is going to, all of a sudden, after being down 14-12, Dunkerton is now leading 17-14. So I think we scored 5 in a row. Definitely have momentum. I know this is a great time. You know, you're up 2-1, and you've got momentum going. So awesome opportunity to finish it out here for Dunkerton. We said earlier, winner plays Wednesday night at 7 p.m. It's scheduled to be here at Dunkerton. The winner gets Edco and East Buck. So both of those are good teams, but I don't think either one of them is much better than Waterloo Christian, if any at all. So I would say tonight's matchup might actually be at least as tough as Wednesday's matchup. But let's win the first one, and we'll go from there. So serving is going to be Bailey Van Langen, and 17-14, Dunkerton's leading. Serve is over. It's front row to Wheeler, and she gets a kill in. So it's 17-15. And Waterloo Christian has the serve. Ball's over. Van Langen returns it. Weepy sets it. It's going to be 2 hits. So it's going to be 17-16. Dunkerton's 3-point lead now evaporates back to 1. Serving here is Bergstrom for Waterloo Christian. And we need a point here. She gets the ball over, dug by Van Langen. Front row to Weepy. Just kind of get the ball over. There's long kill attempt or spike attempt for Wheeler. So point for Central City. She hasn't missed too many tonight, but she did on that one. So it's 18-16, Dunkerton leading. This is Mallory Tissue with the serve. Front row, there's the kill for Reagan Wheeler. So she gets it back that time. It's 18-17, and Reagan Wheeler will be serving now. Into the game comes Rigel, I think. Van Langen to Weepy to Wolf, a little dink, and I want to say the ball is head, but that's crazy. That's just crazy volleyball. Really good volleyball. Mason Wolf did a little dink shot. Waterloo Christian did an excellent job of digging it, getting the ball over, and it was dinked back to Waterloo Christian, and the second time they weren't able to dig it out. 19-17, Mason Wolf with the serve. Ball is over, and there's kind of a running spike. Here's Bernovas from her side, and that I felt pretty good about. She's excitable, and she gets the kill in, so point for Bernovas. 20-17. Dunkerton is looking good here. Mason Wolf gets the serve over. There's going to be a back row spike for Waterloo Christian. It's going to be too long. That was just going to be a tough one to get in. That's going to be Dunkerton with a 21-17 lead. Here in the fourth set, they lead 2-1 on the night. So potentially, they could just turn this around, and we could win this one. We've got, I don't know, pretty serious huddle going on, and Emma Baranovas has a little bit of a dance going on while she listens to coach talk. So she seems to be a little loose there, which is fine. You don't want your players to get too tight. She's pretty excited about that kill she just got. So ladies are fired up. Your front row, probably something a guy could announce every now and then, is Macy Tissue, Morgan Weepy, and Emma Baranovas. Back row is Mason Wolf, who's had a couple nice serves here, so that's exciting for her. She kind of had a little trouble there in the middle, but it's 21-17, and Mason Wolf sends the ball over. Waterloo Christian's going to do a front row spike. It's blocked, but out of bounds, so that's going to be a point for Waterloo Christian. That's too bad. The girls had that one locked in. So 21-18, Dunkerton still leading. White with the serve. Set. Baranovas are going to call a double hit on the set, so that's going to make it 21-18. And 21-19, that's what I call it. So White with the serve. Dunkerton still leading. Wolf to Weepy, to Macy Tissue. It's returned this time, or at least dug out of there. And now it's returned. Wolf back to Weepy, back to Tissue, and Macy puts it home. Real nice looking shot there. I was going to say Macy doesn't miss too many, or hasn't missed too many in the middle tonight, and she didn't miss that one. It's 22-19. Dunkerton leading. And Macy Tissue's got the serve. Macy gets it over. Oh, it's kind of dug out of there. That maybe helped us out a little bit. Waterloo Christian has to get this one all the way over the net, which they do from the back row. Here's Macy. No, I think that's Hesse with a little dink. Weepy back to Hesse. She dinks it again. Dug out of there by Waterloo Christian. Now they're going for Reagan Wheeler, and she's not able to get the ball over the net. A little deep that time for Reagan. Very impressive freshman. She scored a lot of points tonight. But that one goes into the net. It's 23-19. Dunkerton leading here in possibly the last match of the night, or last set of the night. Macy Tissue going to try to finish it out for us. Ball's over. There's Wheeler, and it's blocked by Bernovas and or Izzy Hesse. And it doesn't even matter because it's game point. And set point, game point. All the marbles point. You got all the Dunkerton fans on their feet. And you got Macy Tissue serving, 24-19. Ball's over. Here's Waterloo Christian. That's going to be deep. Ladies and gentlemen, Dunkerton defeats Waterloo Christian 3-1. We got some ladies waving at each other because we don't shake hands anymore. So congratulations to Dunkerton. The ladies will play on Wednesday night here at home at 7 p.m. So that's awesome. And not that anybody's rooting for me or anything, but I'm going to grab my stuff and head home in the car and get a listen to the second half of Monday Night Football. So congratulations. Big time win tonight for the girls. Didn't start well, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And they did a great job. Just kind of recapping all the stuff I saw. Macy Tissue was awesome. Well, Morgan Wheeler set everybody all night. Macy Tissue did an awesome job. Her sister Mallory looked awesome from the wing. Emma Bernovas serving and killing. Those are the things that stuck out. Mason Wolf had some really nice moments too. So it was a lot of fun. Anyway, good luck to the girls on Wednesday night.